kids, welcome to another cook along. So today we're going to make a novelty cat cake. It's going to be a chocolate cake cut and decorated in the shape of a cat. So the first thing you're going to need are your 2 chocolate sponges, and the ingredients and the recipe will be in the link below for that. The cakes need to be completely cool before you cut and decorate them. So these are 8-inch cakes, and so we're going to take the first cake and we're going to cut it. So we need to cut it into the shape of a cat's face. This will be the body of the cat, and so now we need to cut the tail. So the first cut you're going to make is going to be like a man in the moon, or a kind of semicircle. So once you cut that piece, trim the bottom, and then you have the cat's tail. The next part is going to be its ears. So we need to cut the other side now into another half moon, or half, like a semicircle shape, like a smiley face. And then we're going to cut that in half, and that is going to be the cat's ears. And so what we have left here of this cake is going to be the shape of the face. So if you want your cat to have chubby cheeks, then cut a kind of wide circle, more like a rugby ball shape. Or if you want your cat to have just a round face, then cut it into a nice neat circle as much as you can. So you want it to be nice and even on both sides. So just give that a little bit of a trim. Now this is why it's really important that your cakes have cooled, because it's much easier to cut sponge once they've cooled. So now we're just going to position our cake. So there we have the face. I'll just turn this around so you can see. We have the shape of a cat. So we have the cat's body, we have the cat's tail, we have the cat's face, and we have the cat's ears. So that's the shape of our cat. Does it look like a cat? I hope so. And now we're going to make the chocolate butter icing, okay? So we leave that to one side for now. We'll just remove these little bits of cake from my work surface. Give a little tidy up and a wipe down. And now we're going to make a cream cheese chocolate frosting, which is really creamy and yummy. So for that, you can do this by hand with a wooden spoon in a bowl, or you can use a mixer or food processor, which is a lot easier. So what we have going in here is our softened butter. So children, get your mums and dads to put a little bit of butter chopped up into little cubes. Pop it into the microwave for about 10 seconds just to soften it quickly if it has been in your fridge. And so that will soften it and make it mix quicker. So that goes into your mixer, your softened butter. The next thing we want in here is Philadelphia cream cheese. Make sure you don't buy the garlic and herb one. That goes into your mixer. Then into that we're going to need some cocoa powder, which is what's going to give it lovely chocolate flavour. And of course we're going to need our icing sugar already sifted, so it's nice and easy to mix. Now, excuse the noise while I pop my mixer on. So place your paddle into your mixer and then turn it on. Start slowly, because you don't want your cocoa and your icing sugar cascading out of your mixer unless you have a little hat for it. Then you can turn it up a little bit and just let all the ingredients combine together until it goes nice and creamy. So in here we've got real butter, we have got icing sugar that has been sifted, we have got our cream cheese, and we've got our cocoa powder. So give that a nice little mix, make sure it all comes together, it's nice and light and creamy. Just going to stop the mixer for a moment, going to scrape down the sides of my mixer with my spatula, and then going to give it another little mix just to finish off. And all we need to do now is ice our cake and then pop it onto its little decorative plate that you're going to serve it on, and then we're going to put the sweets on to make its eyes and its little whiskers. So that's all mixed and come together. Scrape the lovely butter icing off your paddle. Don't want to waste any of that yummy chocolate icing. If it's a little bit stiff, you can add a little splash of water into it, but don't add too much water or your icing will go a little bit runny. Whoops. Okay, so now we have our butter icing all nice and runny and creamy, ready to pop on our cake. So we're going to bring our cake now here, and we're going to take each section and we are going to ice it. So place your icing first of all on the main belly of the cat. Kids, you're going to love doing this, lots of fun. Then take a spatula and you're just going to very carefully smooth your icing all over your cake. You can go around the sides as well if you like. This is a great little party cake as well. And if you wanted your cat a different colour, you can do it with vanilla butter icing and add in some food colouring. So if you had a tabby cat, you could do a lighter colour brown. If you had a Garfield cat, you could put some orange and yellow food colouring into your butter icing. Or if you had a white fluffy Persian cat, you could just keep your butter icing nice and white. So that's your first bit of the cake iced. And now you want to ice the other parts of your cat. So next, take a little bit for the face. Dollop your butter icing onto the face of your cat. And again, just support the cake while you spread all of that icing over the cat's face. You could leave it plain, you don't have to put butter icing onto your cat's cake. However, it makes your eyes and whiskers stick a lot easier if there is butter icing on your cake. It doesn't have to be perfectly smooth, it can be rustic, but just try and keep the shape as much as you can. So just give the sides a little scrape down. Now we do want the ears to stick, so pop a little bit of the butter icing onto the top of the head where your ears are going to be positioned. And then the next bit and the final parts are to ice the ears of your cake. Pop the little ear on there. Spread your icing on the other ear. Oops, I've snapped his ear. Oops, oh well, never mind. Pop that one on. Just trim off that one so it matches. Now he looks like he's got antennae. Never mind. And finally the tail. My sister and I, when we were little girls, we used to do a lot of baking with our mum, and this was one of our favourites. So back in the 70s, these are the kind of novelty cakes we used to make. Not like the amazing novelty cakes you can get these days. This is just a bit of fun, and lots of young children will enjoy doing this. Nice and easy. Okay, so now we're going to transfer our cat onto our serving plate. So I've just lined a tray with some baking parchment. So I'll bring this so you can see what I'm doing. So we pop the body on first. Then we're going to place his head. Then we're going to place the tail. Then we're going to place the ears. Oops. Right, I'm just going to wash my hands, 2 seconds. And now for the fun part, to decorate it and pop some eyes on your cat. So you can use any kind of sweets for this. So I'm going to use some licorice allsorts for his eyes. And then I'm going to give it a little pink nose. And then I'm going to give it some whiskers. So you could use some laces for this. Cats have long whiskers, don't they? To make sure they can get through things. And then if you want, you can give your cat some eyelashes on top of its eyes. How does that look? So there you have your chocolate cat cake. Nice and easy, fun little lesson for your children during these lockdown days. Happy baking everyone. Thanks for joining me and see you next time.